Broadband devices are transforming the way we work, communicate, and live.
When you look around in today's society, everything is driven by the device.
We can now communicate, search the answer to any question, and choose from an infinite library of literature and video at any time, any place.
I want my data and I want it faster.
But what isn't front and center on your mobile device is the complex infrastructure that enables you to have an endless source of information at your fingertips.
That's something we think about on a daily basis.
Attorneys in Allen Matkins Telecommunications Group help both users and providers work through the complex issues that evolve almost as fast as the technology itself. To get high-speed wireless data wherever you are, it takes towers, cables, new equipment, and sophisticated hardware and software. But that stuff nobody wants to see.
Local jurisdictions have developed ordinances. They cannot prohibit or have the effect of prohibiting the installation of new wireless facilities under federal law, but they can control them in sort of the sense of time, place, and manner.
Which means they make wireless facilities less noticeable.
A lot of jurisdictions want to get rid of old towers and get in new towers that are stealthed, which means they're the ones that look like pine trees or palm trees.
The approval process to build can be difficult. There have even been lawsuits in federal court challenging the ability of local jurisdictions to regulate the towers.
Where we come into the process is in representing carriers or wireless tower companies in getting the approvals from the local jurisdiction either to site the new tower or to add the carriers on to existing towers.
While permitting may be the first issue, it is not the only issue. Wireless companies can also run into problems with landlords over leased space on the tower.
There's a whole industry of people who only own the tower. They don't own the equipment on the tower, and they rent the space to the various carriers.
With a telecommunications lease, imagine, for example, the antenna is on the roof of a building or it's in the far back corner of somebody's personal property. The wireless carrier needs to be able to get to their equipment so that they can service it, they can update it, they can maintain it.
Upgrades and modifications to keep up with technology is a constant battle.
From a property owner's perspective is the concern that the antenna that they signed up for isn't going to be the same antenna that they get a year from now or 2 years from now.
The word co-location often comes up in the Allen Matkins Telecommunications Group.
Co-location is a fancy word that basically means a sublease of space on the tower for another carrier. You have a concern that the antenna is going to suddenly sprout 10 or 15 antenna arrays. And so there needs to be a balance between what the wireless carrier's needs are and what the landowner's expectations are.
And the infrastructure behind wireless broadband doesn't end there.
You've got a whole burgeoning marketplace out there of people who are buying telecom leases, pooling them just like mortgages were pooled, and syndicating and selling them off. And that's a whole nother level of complexity that you need to understand to work in this marketplace.
It takes skilled, experienced negotiators to meet both the infrastructure providers' needs and the local jurisdictions or landlords' needs.
Ultimately leading to a site-by-site solution so that, ultimately when you make that phone call, the call goes through, and when you make that download on your iPad, you see what you want to see in the time you want to see it.